Hi there, this is Anna Prosser, uNcontroLable for Team Liquid here at MLG Dallas on day 3. Standing here with Machine, EG Machine, who has just emerged in the 6th place spot overall in the tournament. How are you feeling about those results, Bryce?
Obviously pretty good. You know, I was a little disappointed with my performance in the last 2 MLGs, but this one I think makes up for it.
You did come back and take out 2 of the guys who knocked you out in previous MLGs. First of all, Cats, you mentioned, and then also your teammate uNcontroLable, who you've had to hit numerous times. How do you feel about having taken them out?
Well, you know, I feel like I finally made it over that hump. Those are 2 strong players who know my style. Jeff in particular has always been an extremely tough opponent for me personally, just because, you know, he maybe doesn't have the mechanics of someone like a Sock or, you know, a Next Genius, but he's an extremely smart player, and that's more the style that, you know, I have a difficult time with. So for me to be able to finally be able to beat him just felt like, you know, a huge relief off my shoulders. So it felt great.
So a lot of people have been referring to your performance here as a bit of a breakout, kind of maybe breaking through that barrier you were talking about. What do you owe that success to?
Jeff, I guess. You know, Jeff in particular has just been the biggest problem for me in these last few LAN events. I've always been good on LANs in Brood War. You know, not quite living up to my potential, but as far as StarCraft 2 goes so far, I've done extremely well in online events, but I've never really been able to do anything in a major StarCraft 2 LAN event. And so being able to finally beat Jeff just kind of, you know, opened me up, I guess. I felt all that pressure was relieved, and I could finally play my game.
In terms of preparation, have you done anything different for this tournament than you did in the past, or has it been just more of the same?
I guess I actually practiced a little bit less this time. Before the last MLG, because of my first performance, I was practicing 16 hours a day. Obviously some very strenuous practice. It took a lot out of me, and then it finally came up to, you know, game time, and you know, I didn't play so well. So this time I kind of took a break, just tried to calm my nerves and make sure, you know, I wasn't trying to actually pump myself up, which is something I was doing at previous, you know, tournaments, listening to a lot of metal music, just trying to, you know, get amped up and ready to go. But this time, you know, I just try to keep it calm, try to keep it cool, and just concentrate on playing my game, and it seems like that's what I needed.
It did seem like you had quite a bit of focus and a lot of calm going into these matches. Congratulations on coming out doing so well. How do you feel overall about the performance of your teammates? It looks like EG has made a pretty good showing here with you obviously in 6th place, and then your other teammates doing really well. How do you feel about your performance, and then what that's going to mean for your team in the future?
Well, I think, you know, talk about breakout performances. Each and every single EG player here played extremely well. Obviously, Hydra being knocked out by Nazgul wasn't, you know, what should have probably happened, but as far as every other player in the tournament, you know, they're finally starting to live up to their expectations, beating some great players. Inca coming back from an 0-2 series against Phoenix to beat him 4-1. You know, a few other extremely amazing performances out of some of the other players, Axlav, Strife Crow, uNcontroLable. You know, we're finally kicking it up to that next level.
Great. Well, I believe that you and TLO, the player, Liquid TLO, who knocked you out, are the top 2 Zergs in this entire tournament. Is that right?
Yeah, we both took 5th and 6th.
As a Zerg player, has this opened your eyes to any new strategies you might need to be practicing, or anything that you didn't expect to hit that you did, or anything that you're going to take home as a Zerg player?
Oh yeah, definitely. Before this tournament, I had not seen that 4-gate Stalker Blink push micro, the same thing that ended up defeating Hydra. But, you know, typically I come to tournaments with my builds already set and prepared, and when I saw that happening, I had no idea how to deal with it. And so me and Hydra, after he had lost to it the night before, kind of sat, talked about it, thought about the best ways to prepare about defeating the build, and I was actually able to defeat Liquid Tyler doing the same exact build to me, so that felt pretty good. But other than that, yeah, a few other Zerg versus Terran adjustments that I've made, a few other Zerg versus Zerg adjustments, but you know, you try and take everything you can from these tournaments.
A lot of people have commented on your ability to, like you said, see those unexpected builds and then think on your feet and be able to react in such a way that brings you to a victory. How much of these kind of matches are that preparation, preparing those builds, practicing them over and over, and then how much is thinking on your feet? And if a lot of it is thinking on your feet, how do you recommend that people practice that and get to the point where they can expect the unexpected and perform well in those situations?
To be honest, thinking on your feet is extremely hard to do. I'd say that at least for me in particular, 90% of what I do has already been, planned out and calculated. And thinking on my feet is something I don't actually want to do. It worries me because I haven't been able to kind of round out the build, hammer it out, 20, 30 games. It bothers me, but when you see that clearly your build is not going to work, you have to go ahead and try something.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit of your strategy. Would you share a little bit about this event, about the venue, and how it's been here in kind of the StarCraft 2 cave, as we've been calling it, with this huge audience, a lot of support? How has that felt, and do you think we can expect a little more attention to StarCraft 2 going forward?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've never experienced anything like this. Even MLG DC doesn't compare to this. I've never been to a tournament like this. The crowd is amazing. I've never taken more pictures with anybody. I've never signed more autographs. I think that from here on out, it's just going to get bigger and better, especially from MLG. They're starting to realize this is the game that the viewers are coming to watch, not Halo, not fighting games. Next year, I expect some really great things out of MLG.
So what are your plans in the next year as you prepare for more tournaments?
Hopefully Korea's on the horizon, nothing's for sure yet, but I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing, try and be the best player I can be, and, hopefully go to some other big MLG events or events in Korea, possibly GSL, and just play to the best of my abilities.
Great. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Bryce. And are there any other shout-outs or observations you want to share before we sign off?
First and foremost, shout out to my teammates in EG. Obviously, I would not have been able to do as well as I could if I was not able to practice with them. Shout out to Gosu Coaching and all of my students. I wouldn't be here without you guys. Shout out to SteelSeries, Intel, all of our sponsors. Once again, wouldn't be here without them. And that's pretty much it.
Well, thanks, Bryce, and congratulations again for placing so well in the tournament.
Thank you.